Louie, all four of these games of this series kind of the same. They went either way. I guess just talk about the little plays that didn't work out in your guys' favor against them. You've been involved in these games better in these kind of series.
Yeah, that's this game's funny sometimes. Sometimes you get what you deserve, sometimes you don't. Not discrediting them at all. That's a really good hockey team. So are we. It just it was a great series. I thought we played really well. Could it have gone either way in my eyes? Yes, but it didn't, unfortunately, and we got to learn from it, and we'll all be better in the future because of it.
Are you surprised that you only scored one tonight? You know what I mean? All the offensive chances and 30 some shots, 35, 36 shots, and only to skate off there, you guys only had one on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, again, this game's funny like that sometimes. Sometimes you get all the chances in the world and you can't buy one, and sometimes you barely get any. And, you put up 4 or 5 in a game. The goalie played really, really well. I think that's a big reason why we only had one, obviously. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. It's super unfortunate, and it's a really, really uneasy feeling for everyone. Knowing the season's done, and you go into summer with that kind of bad taste in your mouth. But again, like I said, we had a young group. I think we took a ton of strides this year. Not just as a team, but as individuals as well. And it's a really special group in there. I think we grew together throughout all the ups and downs, and it's unfortunate it's over.
Louie, roller coaster season, especially in terms of roster. Lots of injuries this year.
Yeah.
Lots of shifting lines. Hard to maybe get chemistry at some points, but you look at what's already under contract for next year. You'll be back. Ryan Chesley will be back. Leon Mugli will be back. David Gucciardi will be back. He'll be getting Cam Allen back from injury. Will having a full offseason, knowing that at least those 5 guys are going to be there, including yourself, and how will that help the defense kind of grow going into next season? You think?
Obviously most of them will have a full year under their belt. Obviously, excluding injuries and stuff like in Cam's case, but they're all special kids. They all work so hard every day. They're all, they make it fun. I don't like to call myself old, but as an older guy, to come to the rink and be around them every day, it makes me feel a little bit younger. So yeah, I think they're all going to be extremely great players in the future. This year is only going to help them, and I'm excited to see, how they prepare this summer for next season. I think it's going to help our group a ton.
In terms of this leadership group, you were the newcomer in here. How is it like working with Matt Strome and Aaron Ness this year, and how have they helped you be a better leader as part of this group?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have, those two in particular have 2 things that I don't, and that's 2 Calder Cups. You don't get those by accident. Nesser's been, an absolute pleasure to learn from. Even at my age, I still learn things from him every day. He's been a pleasure to be around. Stromer, same thing. Like, those guys have been through it all. They've played, deep into the summer, and obviously got the result that you play this game for. So it was a pleasure for me personally to be able to come to the rink every day and just, chip in and work hard and try to just, be myself and not only lead for everyone else, but learn from our other leaders as well. So I thought it was a lot of fun. And there's a reason that this town has won as much as we have. It's no accident. It's no mistake. It starts within, and Nesser's done a hell of a job. I couldn't even tell you how many years he's been here, but just recently alone, just righting the ship every day.
They had extended goodbyes on the ice, Nesser and Strome. If that was their last game, what does it mean to you to play with them and all that?
It means a ton, especially as a guy who's played against them, for a few years before this. Like I said, they both won, which is the greatest accomplishment in this game. That's why you play. It's hard for me to comment on because I don't know what's next, and I don't want to speak for them. But just the emotion, you see in their faces, makes me sad as a man as well. Those are 2 guys that, it didn't matter if it was raining out, sunny out. They were smiling at the rink every single day, and they were just a pleasure to be around, pleasure to learn from. So I hope it's not the end for them. I'll let them speak on that, obviously. But yeah, those are two guys that I grew super close with this year, and it's not easy to see.
On the Crystal sequence, what did you see, and what were you guys' feelings when that just bad luck play happens where he hits the post?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I made that comment earlier. That's just how it goes sometimes. Like a play like that where you think it's for sure going to be in and it's not. And I've been in that position before where it doesn't fall your way. Yeah, it's just super unfortunate. You think you're scoring on one end, they go down, they score on the other. It's just one bad thing after another.
You played against this franchise in your career. Now to play with the Bears this year, what are you going to take away from this experience? Obviously, you have more time in Hershey, but what did you get in those side of the season?
Just you can see why they've won and why they've been so successful over the years. Like from management to coaching staff to trainers to equipment guys. Obviously, my teammates. Like it's I've said it a few times in here, but it's an absolute pleasure to come to the rink every day. Like it doesn't matter if it's you won 5 in a row or lost 5 in a row. The mindset stays the same every single day, and I think that's why success is almost like expected and natural here. It's just such a good organization. I'm so lucky to be a part of it. Obviously for me, I'm extremely grateful that I have another year on my deal. But yeah, I love it here. It's a special place. There's a reason why older guys, try to sign here as well. And I don't have enough. I can't say enough good things, honestly, from even just rink staff, janitors, people you see at the doors. Like it's a team effort. It's a group effort, and this town is so special in that way. That it makes me want to work harder as a player, and not just for my teammates and the group, but for the people that work here and work in this town, and just keep the engine running. It's a great place.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Louie.
Thanks,
guys.
Louie.
Appreciate it.